Why, welcome. Welcome to this month's newsletter. Eddie LeMoine here. I am so glad you stopped by. There's an old proverb and it says, sow a thought, reap an action, sow an action, reap a habit, sow a habit, reap a character, sow a character, reap your destiny. You know, it all starts with a thought. Lots of times I walk into a room and I look at the audience and I think to myself, today we're going to change a life. Today, somebody's going to think something different, and because of that, 6 months from now, it'll have a profound impact on their life. And this month, I want you to think about the things you're thinking about. In my book, Bring About What You Think About, we really do create our outcome based on the way we think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you live to a presentation I delivered at a university in the last year on that proverb. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy the newsletter and have yourself an absolutely wonderful month. And don't forget, live your dreams. I'm Eddie LeMoine. Talk to you soon. So there's an old proverb and it says, sow a thought, reap an action. And let me give you an example. A couple of years ago, I was asked to go to Bermuda in February. And I'm thinking, you know, if you're going to go to Bermuda in February, you should take your golf clubs with you. So now I have really good golf clubs. Not because I'm a good golfer. I'm actually a really poor golfer. But I have really good golf clubs because I am a good father. And when you're a good father, every time there's a special occasion, if you're into something, your children buy you something, you know, for that. And that particular year, I was into golf, so they would buy me something. Last year, I bought a motorcycle. Now, you know, we're only a couple weeks away from Father's Day. So last year, I bought a motorcycle. Kids don't know it yet, but they bought me a set of saddlebags for Father's Day. So that particular year, they bought me a tailor-made 580 driver for Father's Day, or for Christmas. Now, those of you who are not golfers in the room, TaylorMade 580 driver is like a toaster on the end of a stick. It's just this great big head on a big long stick, and it's made to have a big sweet spot so that, you know, you can hit the ball and you know, hopefully it'll go straighter. So anyway, I got to tell you, when I first start to speak in front of an audience, sometimes I get a little bit nervous, but nothing compared to how nervous I get on the first tee box when you're playing golf. You know, and there are people watching you, and you're by the clubhouse, and you know, all of the. So anyway, we're driving up to the clubhouse, and I'm with one of the organizers, and he said, "Oh, Eddie, I forgot to tell you, the guy you're playing golf with." So I'm playing golf with a senator from the Bermudian government, and I'm down doing at a healthcare conference. So as I'm driving up, he said, "I forgot to tell you, the senator that you're golfing with, he's a PGA golf professional." So I said, "What?" So as we get there had to be like 60 or 70 people around the first tee box because they all wanted to see him tee off. So they do this thing, I've never experienced this before, but they spin this thing and it tells who goes first. So he goes before me. He pulls a club out of the bag that had to come over on the Mayflower, a little tiny head on it, some black tape on the handle. He gets up, he addresses the ball, he hits the ball, and it goes farther and straighter than I've ever seen a golf ball go in my life. It was an absolutely amazing sight. Now it's my turn. I pull that TaylorMade 580 driver out of the bag, I take the head cover off of the TaylorMade, and he looks at me and he goes, "You must be some good golfer." Well, the sweat starts to pour into my eyes. Now, golf is a really odd sport for those of you who don't do it. There's all this stuff is supposed to go through your mind, you know, stick your butt out like you're sitting on a bar stool, keep your shoulders straight, keep your head down, so it's the most awkward thing. So I've got this big, long club that I'm, you know, really far back, and I'm all ready to take a swing, and sow a thought, reap an action. My thought was, as I was ready to take the swing, I noticed a clubhouse full of glass windows just off to the left-hand side. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be bad if I hit the clubhouse with all these people here? Wouldn't that be a bad thing? So with my big club, I take the swing, the ball goes off the heel of the club, smashes into the club windows, which had to be bulletproof because it simply bounced off the windows. Did hit two very expensive cars in the parking lot, but rolled back into the fairway. So those of you who are golfers, you're back in the green stuff. So So I'm hitting this ball, and I'm hitting this ball, and I'm going and going and going. And after a while, I'm probably 4 or 5 holes into it, maybe one of the most beautiful golf courses on the planet, and I'm having the worst day of my life. I was wishing I was anywhere except on that golf course. So I'm all ready to take another shot, and I had a thought. My thought was, where did the golf pro go? Like, where's, you know, the senator? Where did he go? And I see him hiding behind a tree when I'm ready to take the shot. So I had a thought. My thought was, wouldn't it be embarrassing if I hit him? Like, wouldn't that be a bad thing, right? So I take a swing. Sure enough, now the ball goes out the toe of the club, heads right for the golf pro at about 150 miles. Now, he's a seniors PGA golf professional, so he's at least 10 years older than me, right? He could jump this high. It was amazing as the ball came toward him that he could get that much distance that fast, right? So the ball goes right under him, and I remember saying to myself, oh my God, Eddie, you teach people this stuff. Like, why would you keep thinking about all the places you don't want the ball to go? Like, why wouldn't you focus your attention on the outcome? You know, like, in the fairway, Eddie, in the fairway, Eddie, in the fairway. So I started thinking that, in the fairway. And you know what? I played better golf ever since then. And you know, whenever my game starts to go off, I refocus my attention on hitting the ball where I want the ball to go. And it made a difference, but I live my life different now. I don't think about the sand traps or the windows or the golf pro standing behind the trees. I now think about where it is I want to go. And I tell you, it made a huge difference in my life. And it's funny how something that I was no good at, out playing a game of golf, would actually have such a profound impact on my life. And it truly did. So sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Remember I said at an unconscious level we're habitual? So you have lots of habits, and they're wonderful. You could be kind, you could be a great parent, you could be a wonderful child, you could be a good employee, but you also have habits that are serving you poorly. And they're habits that you picked up over your life. They could be health related, they could be food related, they could be relationships, it could be the way you behave sometimes. And you didn't get to choose those habits. They happen to you over your life, but you can choose to change them. And I want to give you a simple little kind of scientific experiment to show you how we form habits. Everybody fold your hands like this with one thumb on top, whatever you're comfortable with. Now, how many of you had your right thumb on top? Hands up. Look around. These are the intellects in the room. How many of you had your left thumb on top? Look around. They're the sexy ones. All right? Now what I want you to do is simply do it the other way. Didn't make the intellect sexy, but it's uncomfortable, isn't it? Now fold your hands like this with one hand out. Now do it the other way with the other hand out. It's weird, isn't it? Well, see, what happens is we form habits, all kinds of them, millions and millions of habits, how you drive your car, it's the way we function. We function through habits. And many, many habits you have are wonderful, but some of them are not. And if you could change the habits that are not, you're really reprogramming the operating system that we live our life by. So sow a habit, reap a character, sow a character, reap a destiny. I'll tell you, somebody in this room during this conference will change your life. Somebody will. You will think something different. It could be this session. It could be something you do through the day. It could have been a conversation you had with somebody. But every day, somebody does something that changes their life. You make a decision based on something you're thinking about, and it can have an absolutely profound impact on your life.